Yuma versus Anna Kaboom. Trains versus onomatopoeia monsters. The stakes of this duel: if Yuma loses, he has to start going out with Anna. So okay, the stakes aren't very high with this duel, depending on how you want to look at it. But this duel does feature one of my favorite Xyz monsters, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. I just think its name's really cool to say. In fact, I do like all of the Super Dreadnought cards. Spoilers! Despite Anna dominating the duel with insanely high attack monsters, burning Yuma for 2,000 damage a pop, she somehow loses at the last possible second. And I thought, that's a bit unfair. She was doing so well just to get clapped by one simple combo on the final turn. Could she have changed the outcome of this duel with any minor plays had she had any early opportunities for victory? Same for Yuma as well. I guess we won't know unless we jump into the duel. The duel begins and Anna goes first. She draws, and her opening hand consists of Rocket Arrow Express, Magic Jammer, a Traffic Control, Fiery Fervor, and 2 mysterious spells or traps. Fun fact, all of those spells and traps are going to get dumped into the graveyard later, and the only reason we know what 3 out of the 5 of them are is because a train basically runs through them and we actually see the 3 cards. It's a bit more clear in the dub, but in the sub you can just about make out what they are, and that's what these 3 cards are. The bottom line, we'll get to those spells and traps a little bit later, they're really important. Since Anna controls no cards on the field, she can special summon Rocket Arrow Express straight from her hand thanks to its effect. Now, the benefit of this monster is it's super easy to get out and it's got 5,000 attack points. So you must be thinking, what's the catch? Well, there's a few. Anna now can't conduct her battle phase the turn it's summoned, which isn't a big deal, it's the first turn after all. However, also she can't set any other cards while Rocket Arrow is on the field. On top of all that, during each of her standby phases, she must send 5 cards from her hand to the grave to keep this monster on the field, or else it will destroy itself. So as you can see, this monster is an all or nothing kind of card. It's asking for a lot for, I'll be honest, not a lot of gain. So, with all that in mind, Anna ends her turn here. It's Yuma's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of Rai Rider, Go Giant, Gamashara, Overlay Buster, and 2 mysterious cards. Unable to get over a 5,000 attack point monster, he sets Rai Rider face down in defense, along with Overlay Buster, and then ends his turn. It's back to Anna, and she draws Snowplow Hustle Rustle. The standby phase occurs, and Rocket Arrow Express asks for its maintenance cost of 5 cards be sent from the hand to the grave. Anna chooses not to pay this, and so it is destroyed. Now, the reason that she's abandoned her 5k monster is actually because she's got Hustle Rustle in her hand now, which is a monster she can get out really easily. It doesn't require an insane maintenance cost to remain on the field, and it's got decent stats. So it makes complete sense to choose card advantage over just one singular card on the field with 5k attack. Or at least that's what I would have said if she didn't just set all 5 of her spells and traps face down right here. Why is this insane? Because when Hustle Rustle is summoned to the field, it destroys all of her spells and traps. It only needs to destroy 1, so she should have only set 1 of those cards face down. We're wasting all these resources. I'll talk about it more later. What a waste. For now, with Magic Jammer, a Traffic Control, Fiery Fervor, 2 mysterious spells and traps face down on the field, and Hustle Rustle in hand, she ends her turn. It's Yuma's turn, and he draws Zubaba Knight. He summons Go Giant to the field and then immediately enters his battle phase. He attempts to attack directly. However, Anna activates the effect of Snowplow Hustle Rustle in her hand. When she is attacked directly, she can summon this monster straight to the field. However, by doing so, she must destroy all spells and traps on her side of the field. For each one destroyed, this card deals 200 burn damage. Hustle Rustle is summoned to the field. Her entire back row is destroyed. Yuma takes 1,000 burn damage. Now, since the number of monsters on the field changed mid-attack, a replay occurs. Yuma, unable to get over Hustle Rustle, decides not to attack. Yuma ends his turn. Now, as I said earlier, Anna should not have set all 5 of the cards face down. 1,000 burn damage at the cost of losing 5 back row. it's not worth it. All she should have done is set one of those mysterious cards face down, keep the rest, and then use all the rest on the next turn or as they are needed, basically. Because these free cards could have the potential to win the duel if the duel goes in any which way or form. Magic Jammer, she can negate a powerful spell, 3 or more monsters on Yuma's field, a traffic control stops them from attacking. Yuma gets out a monster with more attack than her, double the attack of one of her monsters with Fiery Fervor. Keep those cards in mind, let's just pretend she held on to them and I'll tell you when they become important later. Oh, and by the way, Yuma's not off the hook either. Since he has a level 3 and a level 4, there was no way for him to exceed summon this turn, so he couldn't have got over Hustle Rustle. However, what he does have face down is Overlay Buster. He could have used that to boost Go-Go-Go Golem's attack to 2,500. He could have then crashed it into Hustle Rustle, destroying them both. Anna would now have nothing on the field. Next turn, when she draws Special Schedule, the best she can do is summon Rocket Arrow Express from the grave into defense. With 0 defense, on Yuma's next turn, he can summon Zubaba Knight, attack over it, do piercing battle damage, then attack directly with Rai Rider. Anna's final turn, she draws Train Connection. With no Earth Machines on her side of the field, this card does nothing. Yuma's turn, she loses. So yes, fun fact, Yuma could have won this duel. It would have actually taken longer than it actually does take him to win this duel. So technically he could have won in a different way. But what's better about this win is it's more decisive. If it had won this way, he basically shut Anna out the duel, basically just dominated. So what he should have done is increase the monster's attack. Now, Anna had an opportunity to completely avoid this situation. All she needed to do was summon Hustle Rustle into defense. So if she'd have done that, she could have avoided this scenario. It's got 3k defense, 2,500 attack, so yeah, fun fact. It's Anna's turn, and she draws Special Schedule. She activates it immediately. This lets her target one machine-type monster in her grave with 3,000 or more attack, and then special summon it in face-up defense. However, it cannot change its battle position. She uses it to summon Rocket Arrow Express back from her grave. Now, with 2 level 10 monsters on her side of the field, she overlays them both to exceed summon her rank 10 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon, Gustav Max. It sounds so cool, it sounds so cool. Anna activates its effect. Once per turn, she can detach one of its materials to deal 2,000 damage to the opponent. She detaches one of its materials, Yuma takes 2,000 damage. Anna moves into a battle phase and uses Dreadnought to attack Go-Go-Go Giant. If this attack is successful, Yuma will lose. Luckily, he activates his Overlay Buster. This increases the attack of Go-Go-Go Giant by 500. While it is still destroyed in the battle, the attack point increase was just enough to keep Yuma in the duel. With no more plays, Anna ends her turn. It's Yuma's turn, and the penultimate turn of the duel. He draws and gets Mirror Mail. He summons Zubaba Knight to the field and then flips up his set Rai Rider. With 2 level 3 monsters on his field, he overlays them both to exceed summon his rank 3 Temtempo the Percussion Djinn in face-up defense. Yuma activates the effect of Temtempo by detaching one of its materials. Now he can target an Xyz monster on the field and detach one of its overlay units from it. By doing so, this card gains 500 attack. Dreadnought now has no materials, meaning it can no longer instantly win Anna the duel on the next turn. Temtempo's attack increases to 2,200. Yuma sets Gamashora and Mirror Mail face down and ends his turn. It's Anna's turn, and the final turn of the duel. She draws and gets Train Connection. She activates it. Now, by banishing 2 level 8 or higher machine-type monsters from her grave, she can equip this card to a machine-type monster. The equipped monster's attack is doubled, and it can inflict piercing battle damage. She banishes Rocket Arrow Express and Snowplow Hustle Rustle from the grave. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon's attack is doubled to 6,000, and now deals piercing battle damage. Anna moves into the battle phase and attacks Yuma's Temtempo, attempting to go for game. However, Yuma activates his set, Gamashara. This trap can only be activated when a defense position monster is targeted for an attack. The monster attacked is changed to attack. Following this, if the attacking monster is destroyed by that battle, the opponent takes damage equal to that monster's attack. Now, at first you might be thinking, what was the point of that? That monster's weaker anyway, it's just going to get destroyed, it's not going to do anything. Well, That's where Yuma's final trap card kicks in. He activates Mirror Mail. This makes it so the attack of a monster being attacked is the same as the attacking monsters. So now, with both monsters having 6,000 attack, the result of the battle is a double KO. Both are destroyed. However, due to Gamashura's final effect, since the battling monster was destroyed, Anna now has to take 6,000 damage equal to her monster's attack. Anna loses the duel. Now, fun fact, even with the power of hindsight, if Anna hadn't used her equip spell this turn and simply just attacked with her 3k monster, which would have gotten over Yuma's defense position Tempo, she still would have lost the duel. Since all the traps would have gone off anyway, she would have taken 3,000 damage and then lost her Gustav Max, having a completely empty field. Her turn ends, all Yuma would have to do is summon a 1,000 attack point monster and simply attack for game. So then the question becomes, was there any way for Anna to win the duel if she'd have held on to one of these free spells or traps? Well, unfortunately, Yuma never got out 3 monsters at the same time, so that wouldn't have helped. He never used a spell card throughout the entire duel, so that also wouldn't have helped. And unfortunately, he never had a monster on the field with more attack than one of her own. So no, Anna could not have won this duel, is what I would have said if we followed the real world rulings of Fiery Fervor, but the anime effect is different, and if she would have held on to it, she would have won the duel. But how, I hear you cry? Well, you see, Fiery Fervor in the anime, its effect doesn't actually require the opponent to have a monster with greater attack to be activated. Instead, it states, when an opponent's monster gains attack, target one face-up monster you control, equip this card to it. The attack of the equipped monster is doubled. So that means that if Anna would have saved this card from the start of the duel, she could have used its effect right after Yuma played Mirror Mail. Now, I did double check the rulings on this to make sure it would work. Obviously, Mirror Mail makes the monster match the opponent's monster, but using a card after Mirror Mail had been played doesn't actually cause Mirror Mail to boost its attack again. So the play checks out. Gustav Max attack would now increase to 12,000. Tempo would be destroyed, and 6,000 damage would be dealt to Yuma. Anna wins the duel. And if you were wondering, could she have set this card earlier in the duel and won even earlier? Specifically, the only other point she could have used it was when Yuma's Overlay Buster was activated. Unfortunately, no, because the earliest she could have set that card was actually on that turn. So she couldn't have used it then. This is the only opportunity she could have won. But the point of the matter is, she could have won this duel. And with that, that's another duel analysis done. Want to watch another one of these with Yuma dueling? Well, I have a video right here. Or you can watch this video right here if you want to. Or if you really want to. Oh my god! The subscribe button. It is dying. How sad. It's hard to stop. The only way to save it is to give it chest compressions. What is the equivalent of that on YouTube? I guess it would be clicking the subscribe button. So I guess if you want to save the subscribe button, you have to click it and subscribe. That's the only way to save it. Thanks for watching.